Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain how Hindutva ideology will destroy social fabric and communal harmony of India. Content for this video I given in the description through my blogspot Shadow Cabinet of India. You can go through and study. Hindutva as mobilized by populists is quite different from the actual faith of Hinduism itself. Hinduism is the third largest religion in the world, and its followers term their devotion as Sanatana Dharma, translated as eternal order, way or duty, rather than classifying to a strict Hindu identity. Even traditions, behavior and identities that are linked with a Hindu identity, such as karma, causality of good action, ideas leading to good and bad, leading to bad consequences, samsara, that is cycle of life, death or rebirth, usually referring to the 7 cycles until the final stage of release, veganism, cow worship, idol worship, etc. are not the key features of what it means to be a Hindu. There are no parameters set by the faith itself or even by the government of India that make a person Hindu on the basis of customs and tradition being practiced. Rather, the definition of a Hindu citizen by government of India is one who is born of Hindu parents or who does not identify with other local religions such as Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrian, etc. This makes Hinduism both pluralist and fluid religion, more so in comparison to the Abrahamic faith, since it is not exclusive and has a centuries-old history of inclusively embracing the edicts and principles of other religions from a higher holistic perspective. Hindutva, on the other hand, is an exclusive and closed ideology. Hindutva defined Indianness is exclusively in religious terms, and Indian is someone who consider India as their holy land, because India was not sacred geography for Christians and Muslims. They were non and anti-Indian. Indeed, they were non-people. Narendra Modi's success in India has a lot with his Hindutva populist leadership and BJP expertise in digital media. Modi is classic populist as he divides the nation into 2 groups of pure and impure people and claims that the pure people have been victims for centuries, as impure people have used their innocence, purity and good natures to subjugate them. The distinguishing feature of the pure group of people is Hinduism. Impure people are non-Hindus, primarily Muslims. This deadly nexus of religion and populism is peculiar to Modi. Hindutva leadership under various parties, Hindu Mahasabha, Bharatiya Janasangh, Bharatiya Janata Party, etc., had been gradually gaining ground since the 1950s, but populism was not part of its repertoire until Modi emerged on the political scene. Since first coming to power in 2024, Modi and his right-wing Bharatiya Janata Party have embarked on an agenda of majoritarian Hindu nationalism, led by ideology of Hindutva, which perceives India history to the inextricable linked with Hindu religious practice, and with the help of a hand-picked committee of advisors, they have pursued a vision of India as a country run by Hindus for Hindus. BJP is the Indian party with the most well-defined ideological platform, which combines fervent Hindu nationalism with right-wing populism based on religious polarization. Its grassroots organization enables the BJP to socialize and train its member in this ideology. The mainstream media and the all hypocritical propaganda of the BJP and the RSS have failed to guide the authoritarian nakedness of the Modi BJP government and all its failures. The bigotry of the BJP and the RSS can never be alternative. These forces can never provide a peaceful and prosperous India to Indians. With the coming to power of Hindutva, Godmen are thriving in India like never before, none more so than Baba Ramdev, who has made billions peddling a range of therapeutic products of dubious value, all with the government blessings. The rise to prominence of men like him and myriad others has been accompanied by a rise of Hinduist pseudo-science. These include claims by prominent members of the BJP that ancient Indians flew airplanes, possessed nuclear weapons, and practiced plastic surgery, as well as assertion that the urine and tongue of the sacred cow are cures for coronavirus. Aditya Nath is not from the RSS. He belongs to Gorakhnath school, which once was eclectic and syncretic with even Muslim yogis among its adherents. The Gorakhnath school has now been corrupted and Aditya Nath is its most virulent Hindutva soldier. In most Indian election, what matters is the vote bank. Using religion for votes is not unique to BJP. Churches and mosques openly call for devotees to vote in one way or another. The Hindu card is a large one, the largest of all vote banks. However, it was often subdivided into caste and regional vote bank, making the play very weak. What Modi and Shah are doing is to consolidate that into one massive vote bank by Hindutva projects. In 2004 election, Vajpayee did something that no other Prime Minister did. He campaigned on positivity of an India that was growing fast. While the previous leaders talked about war, poverty, refugees, etc., here was a leader who did not talk about fear but hope. The campaign primarily hit upon India's achievements in economy, foreign policy, trade, etc. There was hardly any Hindutva there. What did Vajpayee get for this? He was voted out of power. While the urban Indians talk a lot on growth, jobs, infrastructure, we don't really vote on them. If we really vote at all, those motivated enough to go to booths still vote for their religion, caste, etc. So BJP realized that votes are not going to be won merely because of good governance and statistics. We had good parties like the Swantra and Lok Satta. What did they get? Nothing. The politicians are like salespeople. They will sell whatever people want to buy. From winning only 2 seats in the Lok Sabha in 1984 to a complete majority in 2014 and winning again with a greater majority and increased vote share in 2019, the phenomenal rise of the BJP in 3 decades can be attributed to Hindutva to a great extent. Since then, it has been Hindutva which has been propelling the BJP engine. Most importantly, Hindutva is something to which no other party can stake claim. And needless to say, BJP is well aware of it, as utilized well in the most politically advantageous way. It may be a good business to sell religion and make people addict of it, but not so good for the people who get addicted, that is citizens of India. In its 75 years as a free country, India has never faced a more serious crisis. Already its institution, its courts, much of its media, its investigative agencies, its election commission have been pressurized to fall in line with Modi's Hindutva policies. The political opposition is withered and infirm. More is in the offing. The idea of Hindutva in its fullest expression will ultimately involve undoing the constitution and unraveling the fabric of liberal democracy. It will have two constitutional niceties are not compatible with the BJP blueprint for a country in which people are graded and assessed according to their faith. The end game is not to rinse 180 million Muslims out of India. It can't be, for practical reason. Where would they go? Even those speculatively identified as illegal Bangladeshi immigrants cannot be sent back home unless Bangladesh accepts them. What the BJP is aiming for is what its founder has always wanted: a country that is Hindu before anything else. In the 1940s, both Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, and Vinayak Savarkar, a leading RSS ideologue, were proponents of a two-nation theory. Jinnah wanted the territory of undivided India to be cut into two with one part for Muslims, whereas Savarkar wanted Hindus and Muslims in the same land but with a Muslim living in a subordinate position to the Hindu. That unequal citizenship was that the RSS considered and still considers right and proper. So they planned to give a graded citizenship, a citizenship with hierarchies. They don't need genocide, don't need ethnic cleansing, but this misconcept ideology of Hindutva against our constitution, which consider every citizen irrespective of religion and caste, give equal values in all senses. Nehru, Ambedkar and the other framers of India constitution engineered the country to be a liberal secular democracy. Research in many parts of the world has shown that genocide of a community is often preceded by the community being diminished, their name changed, their history being erased, and they being pushed into ghettos so that people do not interact with them in their daily lives. This process has begun in India, and open call for genocide of Muslims and Christians are being given in various parts of the country with amazing impunity. These early signs must be noted and resisted by the democratic forces in the country. The Prime Minister never calls for peace in times of social unrest. It is crucial for leaders to play a unifying role by promoting dialogue, understanding and reconciliation. However, the Prime Minister has completely failed to do so. Present example in last year Manipur communal violence. Hindutva RSS, which opposed all these isms, that is secularism, pluralism, socialism, communalism, remained on the margins, just like its counterparts in national politics. The Hindu right had done nothing of note during the freedom struggle. In fact, the RSS did not take part in the mass movement that forced the British out of India. India needs a second wave of freedom struggle against caste, feudalism, capitalism and Hindutva fascism to ensure liberty, equality, justice, secularism, socialism and democracy enshrined in the Constitution of India. Every Indian must rebuild their country by defeating Hindutva fascist forces and their corporate cronies. The secular and democratic struggles are the only path in history for a peaceful and prosperous future for India and Indians. Amen. Bible talks about Hindutva ideology payoff, that is in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 18. Wisdom, that is secularism, is more powerful than weapons, yet one Hindutva mistake can destroy all the good you have done. Also in Isaiah chapter 5 verse 8, oh, that is judgment is coming to those who join house to house and join field to field to increase their holdings by depriving others, until there is no more room for others, that is minorities, so that you have to live alone Hindutva in the midst of the land. Amen.